Welcome, world, to the Rebelle Rally. We are live from the Stage 2 finish, Big Dune, Nevada, powered by Pirelli today. This entire stage has been powered by them. And it's been a long day. These Rebelles are looking a little tired.
It is. I'm looking a little tired. We stood out in the sun halfway here at the International Car Forest and welcomed a few teams by there. In our time there, we got a few surprises about a car or two that came through we didn't expect to, and honestly, it's been really nice to have cell signal so we can follow as well and see the points and the scores and the YB tracking data and everything.
Yeah, it's been really fun today. For those of you just joining us, my name is Rochelle Croft. I'm one of your co-hosts, along with Matthew Johnson. We are with you the whole way through this Rebelle, bringing you the scores, the stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the above. We had a little ugly today, and I think a lot of good.
We did see a car on a flatbed on the way here with a tire folded in, and maybe we'll get a chance to cover them a little bit later. But you know what? Look, here we are in shorts. The last couple days we've been at Basecamp 1. It's been freezing and blowing, and I knew for sure as soon as we turned the camera on tonight, it was in come the gale force winds. And
well, you just jinxed it now.
It's just pleasant out here right now. It's just beautiful Nevada desert. We're here at Big Dune. This is why you come to the desert.
It's gorgeous tonight, and there's a lot of teams trickling in. Last time I checked on the Yellow Brick Tracker, there was still a lot out on course making their way down to Basecamp 2.
It's a big, long day. It has a lot of checkpoints in the morning that if you get spun out on and spend too much time on, you don't get down here with time to do the rest of the checkpoints before you're out of time for the day. So today is one of those days that awards teams for being very smart. And being smart does not mean speeding.
No, it does not.
Speeding
That's been an issue.
Yeah, it can put you at risk. It can put your vehicle, your third teammate, at risk. And it's hard to navigate effectively when it feels chaotic in the car. You would know better than me.
Absolutely. As soon as you start picking up that speed and you get that gut check in your gut, you start feeling a little uneasy, like, oh, I'm not sure where I'm at. And as a driver, you should feel that gut check of, I've lost a little control of the car. I need to bring it down a notch. And something that, these girls have never driven on a lot of these roads, especially our beginning teams. And they're coming up on these roads that look straight and just wonderful to drive on. You think you can pick up the speed, but there's a lot of what we like to call gotchas right in the middle there.
Totally.
And if you're up to speed, you don't have time to slow down for those, and that's when you're going to break your car, and it's only stage 2.
I think it's such a good point, and I can identify with that from Performance Rally. You have to listen to the notes the co-driver says. They're really descriptive notes about the road. The moment I've gone too fast into something or cleaned out a ditch, my brain's wiped. And so as the driver, you're looking at a mountain, trying to aim at that mountain. You're on a mission, working with the navigator, and then a big bump, something happens, your brain wipes. It's gone. You got to get to the focus level, and it's like a reestablishment there. They're on the finish line.
Looking tired.
I see a big smile. Happy to be here at Basecamp 2.
That's usually the sign today on stage 2. It's the first transit day. What did you see there on that FJ?
Wes, if you're watching, your FJ's looking strong.
Nice.
It's looking good. Bree and Wes have that FJ, and she's excited to have it here. And she told me Wes is a little bit concerned about it at times, and I think it's funny to give him some updates.
Awesome. She must not have been speeding today.
No. We have all kinds of things to cover here. Obviously powered by Pirelli today, and for me, Pirelli is what I find on a Porsche 911 Turbo or a McLaren 765 LT. I'm used to performance cars with Pirellis that go 180, 200 miles an hour kind of cars. It turns out they deploy some of their tire technology in the off-road realm, and we just hadn't heard that much about it. So it's cool. The Scorpion All-Terrain Plus here on several staff vehicles and several competitor vehicles. In fact, Emmy told us a little bit today. If you watched our midday broadcast, you heard Emmy say about how they really helped her get up a tough incline.
Absolutely. So the winners of the Stage 2, because we are powered by Pirelli today, they actually win a set of Pirelli tires. That's pretty cool.
It sounds casual, and then when that set of tires shows up at your house, you're like...
It's like Christmas morning.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Those tires just shipped to my house, and they were free. I didn't pay shipping. Those tires are mine. And then it's like, you start running the numbers, I am super stoked at this moment.
They're going to be happy about that. All right. Well, the scores are still coming in. We have I mean, we've been following the trackers all day. We've been following the scores all day. But until the timed enduro scores come out, it's anybody's guess right now.
Right. We had only 4 out of 52 yesterday get full points for the timed enduro, and this morning they had to start the timed enduro with sleepy eyes. So we'll see who was able to power through. So I saw Lynn and Sedona. Are they still heckling you off the side of the set there?
I think they finally walked away.
Okay, that's funny. There, I look over there, and Lynn and Sedona are picking their noses and trying to distract Rochelle. And so the kind of fun we like to get up to out here. Look at the YB tracker.
I love seeing all the cars moving on down the course just like they're supposed to. You got a couple rogue ones out there, and then they realize their mistakes, come back on course, work their way down. There was an X route that teams could have chosen to take today, which a lot of them did, as we saw out there at the International Car Forest. So those that didn't take that X route came on over and saw us.
Came to see us, and we didn't see many cars
we
there.
did not see many cars.
So a lot of people going for those X checkpoints.
There was a car we were surprised to see. That was Emmy and Rebecca in the Rivian. They had a little trouble today.
Yeah, they came walking in there looking a bit bouncy. And
very bouncy, yes.
Yeah, it sounds like they may have hit a bump a little harder than expected and have a suspension issue. I'm assuming the Rivian's over in tech or a mechanic area. We're going to try to bring you a little report about that before the show's over. Do we have any scores? Can we see any scores? Awesome. That's great timing. That's what I was thinking, Tracy. Thank you.
There's that Porsche. They're in the X-Cross.
They're the ones missing an eye. You almost saw it there. All right, 4x4 scores here on the page.
Oh, man, that's little font. All right. That's looking good today. Man, you can see the stage winners from yesterday, Barlow, Nina, and Tara Lynn. They're still leading the charge right now, although they are tied.
They're tied now with Laura Wanless and Maria Guitar.
This is
great.
Guitar.
This is fantastic.
We're actually going to chat with Laura Wanless and Maria Guitar.
Oh, look at this. Look, in the top 4, this is awesome. In the top 4, number 3, Elizabeth Williams and Allison Williams, rookies.
That's amazing.
Elizabeth Williams first came to the event, if you guys remember, 3 years ago in a Rolls Royce. I drove Elizabeth around all week. She fell in love with the Rebelle.
Okay.
And now she's here with her sister competing in her own truck. Her sister Allison serves some search and rescue missions. She knows how to get herself around on maps. She lives in Washington. And this is a trip. Good for them. Look at them third right now.
That's
rookies.
Awesome.
Let's have a look at X-Cross. See April Leon's Forerunner there.
More teams
Beth
trickling
and
in.
Abby and the Porsche Cayenne. Okay, X-Cross. I'm seriously excited right now getting to see these points here at the end of the day.
I know you are.
Now, these may not be fully official if we haven't seen all of the REC. There's a few things they're still confirming, but
that is really neat. We chatted with Tana and her teammate Verena at the Car Force today.
And we didn't tell them what we knew. We just congratulated them on a good first day. And they were not leading at the end of the first day.
No, they weren't. And today when we saw them, they were leading, but we didn't tell them that.
Yeah, we didn't. You know, the thing that stuck in my head about what Tana said, she said, we're a good package.
Oh,
she says, I am working on the navigation, and I have the experience with that, and I have some off-road experience to share with Verena. Verena's a great driver, and our Kia, is doing really well for us. And she really, you could see that for her, there wasn't a hero among them. They were just a good team, and that's a cool place to land, and that's a great attitude for the week.
Yeah, those are amazing years when everything comes together and the pieces work and everything clicks, and that is the year you got to watch out for those teams because they're just nothing.
I'll say.
Almost nothing is going to stop them. So you really want to be rooting for.
Yeah,
those guys.
I hope Verena appreciates the rarefied territory she's occupying right now. She's got a powerhouse in Tana, and obviously the cars Kia is working for them, so that's really cool. Speaking of the Kia, Sabrina and Alyssa there in the other factory Kia. They're in identical cars with Verena and Tana, and they have just shown up here to the finish. Sounds like we have some stats.
I believe so. We've got some general stats for the Rebelle Rally this year in the 6th edition. We've got total kilometers, checkpoints. There we go. 2,275 kilometers, 104 competitors, 4 base camps. And we are at base camp number 2 at Big Dune.
Already base camp number 2. For those of you just tuning in, we just want to give you kind of the overall picture of this deal. 2,275 kilometers is 1,400-ish miles. A lot of it is off-road. Couple hundred miles might be pavement where we've got to use it to connect these different BLM areas and state parks and national parks and all the permits it takes to have such a, the longest off-road rally in the country to come together. 190 checkpoints also.
That's a lot of checkpoints.
It's a whole lot of pushing the button.
Yeah, those navigators are going to be tired of looking at maps by the end of this, let me tell you.
Tell us about these checkpoints.
All right, so the Rebelle Rally is scored on 3 different checkpoints. You've got your greens, blues, black diamonds. If you're familiar with skiing, it's categorized a lot of the same way. Your greens are going to be the easiest, but they are worth the most points, and this is done to move the teams down the course, so that no one's left behind. And it's just a lot of fun. They're always staffed by a Rebelle staff member. There's a big green flag. They're a lot of fun to see out there on your first year. Then you have your blues. These are more of an intermediate checkpoint. They could be a small flag or a blue pole in the ground, which those, if you don't know where you are, you will miss those things.
You'll never see the pole, will you?
No, you will drive right by it. Then you have your black diamonds. These are not marked in any way, which coincidentally is funny because you have the blues that are marked by a flag or a pole, and then you have your black diamonds. And teams will navigate very well to a black diamond, but you'll miss the pole.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Because you stop navigating as soon as you get there and think that you can just find it.
I got it. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
Yeah.
I maybe even get out of the truck and run over the top of the mountain and just try to save time with physical exertion or something. I would fall into that trap easy.
Absolutely. All right, look at that lineup of vehicles. That's awesome. We also have quite a few vehicle designations. So there's a bone stock designation, which is only wheel and tire modifications only.
And let's be clear, these are for awards. These are like your challenge is, here's the different challenges you undertook. The 2 basic classes are 4x4 and X-Cross. And so we have 2 basic classes, but inside those classes, these awards are also presented.
Yes, and we have one Ford Bronco in 1969 that's in that 4030 designation. That was a vehicle 40 years or older, which is pretty awesome. I saw them come over the finish line, and they were looking good. They were all smiles, so they made it.
40 years or older right now is 1981. Does that make you feel old? It makes
Yeah,
me feel old.
it does.
Oh, geez.
I was just doing the math.
I'm over 40. But to be clear, 1981, you know what? Like when you make it into the mid 80s here in a few more years, we're going to see a bigger and bigger 40-30 class, and I'm stoked about that.
Absolutely. Then we have your electrified designation, which is a whole nother set of challenges. These teams, especially today, they were powering up on course, mid-course, in order to get enough power just to get to base camp 2.
And in that electric designation, let's be clear, because for our fans watching, it could be a little bit confusing. That includes fully electric, PHEVs, and hybrids. And you may ask, why do you put a hybrid in there? They've got a gas motor, and they run around on the gas motor half the time anyway. Well, a hybrid is designed to use the less fuel because they've got a hybrid drivetrain and a battery. And sometimes our courses demand a lot of exertion, let's say, from the car. So we give them a chance to take on gasoline. So they can come and get a few gallons in the middle of the day because the gas tank is usually pretty small on a hybrid. And then our PHEVs, they might plug in and charge. And then our fully electric cars obviously are going to get a charge in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was out there last year with Emmy and Rebecca watching them with that challenge, and it's just a whole new set of challenges to an already difficult rally.
I think it's funny, our electrified vehicles, so the fully electric vehicles, are better with their battery off-road and even climbing dunes and stuff potentially because they have so much torque. You don't have to be full-in floored to get up the dunes, but just like travel days where they've got to keep a higher average speed, they're sucking down more of the juice. There's that 69 40-30 class Bronco.
It is an awesome Bronco. I need to go catch up with those girls and find out how this year is different from last year for them. Because I know last year was quite a bit of a learning curve. They had some mechanical issues. but I believe they finished. They stuck it out.
They were brave.
Yeah.
To show up to an event this big as rookies.
Yeah.
With a recently completed rebuild like that. This was their father's Bronco when they were younger, and it has proved to be a uniting force between the sisters to come and do something like this together, kind of in the name and to honor him. And it's just a cool feel, cool idea. Susan and Holly's Jeep there.
They're doing very well in this rally as well. I believe they were in top 10 today, and they're keeping it steady. So it's really fun to see them crawling up in the ranks as well.
I'm going to be better prepared tomorrow night. I'm going to run around and ask Chrissy to print me out some results, even if they're not official.
Yeah.
And that's what, honestly, as we get further through the day, the results get more and more interesting as the stories come on.
They do.
Subaru number 204. Several Subarus here. 3 or 4 maybe. We'll see those later in the crossover class, X-Cross class.
Oh, nice. He's got his drone out there. There's that Rivian coming into base camp, looks like. Trying to find out if they're headed out. There's one black checkpoint out in those dunes today.
It's so dusty out here, I couldn't even confirm. Is that Emmy and Becca?
It is. Look at them bopping along there.
That's a yellow vehicle you're looking at, folks.
That
Yeah, there we go. You kind of get the idea. The suspension is not the way it should be there if you're watching the nose of that vehicle. Oh boy, I'll bet you when they lay down tonight in there, they're just going to be like you've just got off a boat you've been on for hours and hours.
I think they're in for a long night. So when the cars need to go into the mechanics, a teammate needs to be there while the car is being worked on.
That's true. Teammates got to be there the whole time.
Yes.
Well, it's been such a cool process watching Rivian here last year and this year. They've got a great team here. It's such a testing ground. That is such a proving ground that is the Rebelle Rally.
Absolutely. You see those base camp lights twinkling there in the distance in one of those drone shots. And base camp, I must say, is looking very beautiful today.
Oh, man, I cannot explain how much nicer it is here than where we're like 2,500 feet lower or 3,000 feet lower in elevation right now. I'm in shorts. We've been covered up with blankets in our other pieces to camera. So I think we've got a word from our sponsors or commercial to show you.
So yeah, we're going to talk more about this beautiful base camp after this short break.
At Total Chaos, we believe in pushing everything to the limits and testing everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment to perform in brutal environments and some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run every mile of the Rebelle Rally for the last 6 years. Welcome to the chaos.
If you're wondering how Scrubblade compares to competitors, take a look at my friend Kyle over here. They look normal, but his wipers only have one blade and no scrubbers, so they're weak. In fact, you can hear it. Pathetic. Now how does that compare to the dual cleaning action of Scrubblade? Oh yeah. Double the efficiency, double the clean, and double the sadness for my man Kyle over here. Oh!
The Rebelle. What it is it's a long distance competition that covers 8 days. 7 days of scored competition, but 1 full day of prologue. So it's not a race for speed. It's really about a test of navigation and driving accuracy and precision. They're given about 16 paper maps, 2-foot by 3-foot maps, and road books, and they have to navigate to over 100 checkpoints over the next 8 days. What we have that's unique is the scoring system that we worked a long time on, but we took some really cool elements of things that we love in rally and racing and adventure and kind of fused it in to a hybrid, and it's really a tough challenge.
Each day it's set up that you collect certain checkpoints on that day. The checkpoints are rated green, blue, and black. Easy, medium, and hard. And it's a little bit backwards from what you'd think. The easy ones actually have the most points. And in between those green checkpoints are blue and black checkpoints, which they may or may not acquire. They choose which checkpoints to go to, depending on their skill level, depending on their day, depending on their vehicle.
Well, the course is kept secret from the competitors until literally, when they receive their instructions. To describe the course is really remote. We're out in the middle of nowhere camping and seeing sights and things that you ordinarily wouldn't get to see.
The interesting part about this event is that everybody has an equal chance. It's designed to be fair. A lot of these women, they're not off-road racers, they're not off-road drivers. They come from all different walks of life, and they all have an equal shot.
It's way harder than people would think, but it's designed that whether you're a seasoned pro or you're a beginner can really excel at. They walk away with a lot of tools in their toolkit if they want to go do other rallies, other races, or hopefully come back to test their skills again at the Rebelle.
Welcome back to our evening show here from Basecamp 2. What you're looking at is Big Dune. That is the top of a big pile of sand, seemingly in the middle of nowhere. And it's where we've put our Basecamp number 2. I have the pleasure to bring you Stephanie Prater. She has a really special job here at the Rebelle, and it's one that I appreciate, and I know all the competitors appreciate. Do you have an official title, Stephanie?
Basecamp designer.
Okay, and that's what it feels like. When you walk into our base camp, the touch, the look, the feel, and how you feel when you walk in there is all part of what Stephanie creates. Tell us what you want in a competitor to feel when they get to base camp after a long day, they throw their stuff down and they come in there. What do you want them to kind of feel? What are they looking for?
Well, be just welcome, first of all. Coming into a space that is pretty, usually has a theme of some sort. This one happens to be a little bit more on brand with all the Rebelle colors and kind of compass-like stars. It's a place where we all gather at the end of the day. Operations team, all of the staff, all the competitors, where we can just sit down, relax, be in a surrounding that feels clean and candlelit. A little bit of elegance we like to add to the desert each time we land at base camp.
I wish this sort of thing existed in the competitions I've done. I immediately am more calm and stoked for dinner. If you don't know this already about the Rebelle, we force the competitors to park their vehicles and leave them overnight, unless they're at the mechanic stand. Otherwise, they've got to leave their vehicles alone, get themselves into the tent, and socialize with the other Rebelles and the fraternity that it is of the Rebelles and the adventures they've been through together. And Stephanie makes that space one you want to relax and share in with your friends and such. And it's cool. I love having you around here.
Thank you so much. I think about it all year long. I mean, from the time I'm done with our last base camp till we're getting ready to set up again, I'm cooking up as many brilliant ideas as I can think up along my lifetime, just to make, there's a little bit of an expectation with me with base camps now. The girls really look forward to walking in each first day at each first base camp and see what I've done.
And see what you've done.
And, I've got to re-impress myself every time because I want it to look fabulous for them. And Emily has, amazing taste, and obviously pleasing her is my number one tool. And she happens to love this base camp, I think, probably as one of the favorites so far in 6 years.
And you and Emily have been friends how long?
Em and I have been friends about 25 years. We've done a lot of different off-road events together, as well as ski events and all kinds of things. So, we have a love for one another, not to mention we look pretty consistently alike and get called each other's names often.
Well, one of my new friends here on our live crew, Adam, has introduced me to a term, and it's what younger people say when they mean that you have a lot of style. And what they say to me is like, she's got drip.
It was a new one to me, too.
Well, I kind of get it. I like it. You've got the drip, Stephanie. We love seeing how you're dressed, everything you throw together, your hats, the whole get up. You make me want to run out and buy a jumpsuit. Is that what it's called?
This is a jumpsuit.
It looks pretty comfortable.
I like to match my base camps a little bit, so that's kind of my own little personal touch and thing. So what can I say?
We dig it. Well, speaking of base camps, we've got a cool video for you about the sounds of Basecamp. That was great. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining us. Rochelle is back with me as we look at a big drone overview of Basecamp 2.
It is gorgeous out there. And I saw on the screen, again, Emmy and Rebecca coming into that line. They looked a little beat today.
Oh, man. You know, when you got a car issue you're nursing, it's just that much more taxing. What I also find, though, is that it brings that extra focus into view. It like really gets you even more laser focused on what the goal is. Like you're on a mission, you're in a competition, you're in a fight.
Yeah.
And this SOB's making it across the line no matter what.
That grit really starts to come through for sure.
We see the back door open there on 107. You can see how a lot of these, that's a 4Runner there. Got the swing open area there. It can hold a lot of tools, extra water. Oh, that's April Leon's 4Runner. Okay.
It is. I believe they're probably in line for fuel right now. There's a lot of teams in line for that fuel. So you need to keep your place, stay in line. And you also, when teams check into Basecamp at night, they have a certain amount of time to get fuel and unpack their car before they turn it into impound. I believe they have 1 hour.
That's also precisely why our cars are not fueled, because there were competitors in that line when we got here.
Yes.
So we're waiting to maybe sneak in that fuel line later.
So you're seeing these teams here. They sneak in that fuel line right away, and then they get their stuff while they're in that fuel line. So you'll see all the doors, all the swing outs open, and then the driver will hop in and move that car a little bit along. So they're not just driving around for no reason with their swing outs open. There is a reason for it.
For sure. Rachel there and Christy came through our checkpoint we were manning today. Not checkpoint, but our area we were on today at the International Car Forest. I was a little surprised to see them. I thought they would have been on the X checkpoints. But they sounded like they were in a nice cruise mood zone and doing well.
Yeah, it did sound like they were doing great. All right, stand by. Having a few technical difficulties out here in the desert.
Awesome. Well, we, looking at some vehicles behind us, it is getting dark here pretty fast. Actually, it just looks dark when I've been staring at these lights that light us up. Maybe it's not quite that dark out there yet. You know, we got to do a little bit of off-road today.
We did.
And when it got rocky and bumpy, I pressed the button in my Lexus GX there to raise the suspension a bit.
How did it work?
I never heard a rock hit the bottom of the GX, so I think it worked well.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm looking forward to give it a little spin in the sand tomorrow.
I bet you are.
The Rebelle touches sand 3 specific times this week, always finishing. So far in the 6 years, you know, as soon as everyone really thinks they know how it's going to go, we're not going to stop. We're not going to finish in Glamis anymore. We're going to go somewhere else because Emily wants to keep you guessing.
She does.
If only to prove a point. We'll finish somewhere else.
She does very well, yeah. And I enjoy that as a competitor because if it was the exact same locations every year, returning teams would just get better and better and better.
Sure. In
those exact locations, and it would not leave room for beginning teams to come up. It wouldn't even be a fair chance at that point, and it would get boring, honestly. Like, yeah. I love seeing new territory. It makes us better competitors. It makes the navigators better because there's new features that you're seeing every day that you have to look at on your map. So I really appreciate that.
Cool. Now, here we are at the end of day 2. How was the end of day 2 for you in the past? And last year we were runner-up. 2 years ago you were the winner, so you've got a lot of experience knowing the feels that's happening behind us.
Yeah, the day 2 can be historically a very good day or a very bad day for a lot of people. It's rare to find someone kind of in that middle because it's the first transit day and your body just isn't used to waking up that early. You're packing up, and they started this morning, don't forget, on a timed enduro.
Yeah.
So depending on how that timed enduro went for teams, that could really set your whole day. So if you just bombed it and made a lot of mistakes, that's hard to bounce back from, but yet you still have all those checkpoints to go to get to base camp too.
It's great how the Rebelle is such a practice and just leave it behind you. Just moving along.
Yes.
That sucked. We both agree it sucks. Let's just take a breath and just acknowledge that it's not been going the way we'd like it to be going and recommit to just working together.
Yeah.
You know, and that takes a committed teammate.
It does.
Being married, right?
Yeah, just like being married. I always tried to have these conversations with my teammates before we did the rally to get that out of the way of, hey, when you're stressed, when you're really tired, when you make a mistake, how do you react? And how can I help you through that? And vice versa. Do we just need a 5-minute break?
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, or let's get some snacks out. Let's have some water. Let's take care of ourselves a little bit.
Yep.
And then just take a new look at it. Nicole and Audrey they're from San Diego. They're part of the off-roading community in San Diego, and they help organize different cleanups and things in the community to make sure that we can show responsible use of public lands and keep access to public lands.
They're very passionate about what they do. We'll have to get them on another time, but tonight it looks like we have another team I would love to chat with. It's a rookie team, and I happen to know them from the overland industry, so I wanted to pick their brain and see how this whole experience is doing for them.
Let's do it. Great.
All right, we'll throw to a commercial here quick, and then we'll bring them on in.
At Total Chaos, we believe in pushing everything to the limits and testing everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment to perform in brutal environments and some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run every mile of the Rebelle Rally for the last 6 years. Welcome to the chaos.
If you're wondering how Scrubblade compares to competitors, take a look at my friend Kyle over here. They look normal, but his wipers only have one blade and no scrubbers, so they're weak. In fact, you can hear it. Pathetic. Now how does that compare to the dual cleaning action of Scrubblade? Oh yeah. Double the efficiency, double the clean, and double the sadness for my man Kyle over here. Oh!
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are live stage 2 at Big Dune, powered by Pirelli today with the Rebelle Rally. My name is Rochelle Croft, one of your co-hosts, and I am here live with team number 156. We have Rasa and Leeway. How are you guys doing?
Good. We had a great day.
Awesome.
I mean, we feel good about it. We have no idea how we did, but we had a really fun time.
I love it. Was it a long day for you?
It was a lot. It felt shorter than yesterday. Yesterday felt really long. I think it was maybe just because we had our helmets on for 10 hours for the first time ever, and I don't know. It just felt a lot longer. But today was early. It felt comfortable.
Awesome. So have either of you done the Rebelle before?
No. Neither of us have done it.
So you are one of our rookie teams, as we like to call them, and that means both driver and navigator are completely new to the Rebelle. So how is it going for you so far? Is it what you expected? Is it different?
I think I knew kind of where the Rebelle zone was, and I'm pretty comfortable in this environment. My husband and I do a lot of exploring in Nevada and California and Arizona, and so I'm pretty comfortable with that. But boy, the navigation is a whole different ball game. I don't know. Do you have anything?
I mean, I'm used to navigating with digital and maps, so this is a whole new ball game for sure. And any of the timed, the enduros are completely foreign and special.
I love that word for those. That's great. And you both have quite a bit of experience. I know, Liwei, you've traveled the world, Morocco, all over with your hubby, and then you also have a lot of experience with navigation.
Yeah, I mean, again, with digital navigation, but topo maps are pretty familiar, and we use a lot of them to just zoom around. So yeah.
So what is one thing that has surprised you the most about competing so far?
Ooh, you got something?
How much we're laughing every day. I was laughing so hard I was crying today.
That is a good day too.
Which seems like a good sign, right?
I think that's the best.
I mean, I feel like I thought it would be a lot more stressful in the vehicle all the time, but we're not. We're having a great time, and I don't know, there's a lot of snacks and a lot of laughing, and I mean, we're yelling but not at each other, so there's that. We're yelling at things and ditches and that truck over there.
You have to get to that point, and that's how we always were. It was like, at the end of the day, and Emily says this all the time, you just have to be able to laugh because things are going to happen. Both people are going to make a mistake. Someone's going to be the first to make the first mistake. And how do you handle it from there?
Yeah, this morning was mine. I think I did math wrong. It was a really rushed morning because we had an early start, and I'm pretty sure we got a big fat Zippo on that enduro, thanks to my math.
That's okay. Well, I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, us too.
Can you remind me, I know what you're driving, but the audience doesn't know. What are you driving?
Yeah, we're driving a 2004 Toyota Tacoma. It's mine and my husband's. He bought it like a week before we met. So the whole time we've been together, we've had this truck together, and it's got, I think it's going to roll to 275,000 miles during this rally.
That's incredible. Yeah. How has it been, Liwei, for you?
It's been good. It's smaller than the vehicles I'm used to, and I drive differently than Rasa, so it's been special again, but good. I mean, I'm like, are you in low? I feel like you should be in low, and she's like, nope, not yet.
Yeah, I don't like to go into low when I don't have to. I can go faster in high.
Absolutely. Well done. I love that you're sitting here laughing at the end of a really long day. Is there anyone at home you ladies would love to say hi to?
I really want to say hi to Craig, who is my husband, who has been coaching us this whole time and making sure, he's a pilot, so he knows navigation. Okay. And so he was kind of he was my first navigation coach and has been helping Liwei and giving us lots of challenge courses for practice. So I want to say hi, and I know he's watching because he's taking care of business.
Your number one fan.
Yeah, he's my number one fan. Hi, Craig. I love you. You're
so cute. And I'm going to thank Craig since she's thanking Craig because you helped me. Also, thank you, Ryan. You're at Expo East, or just wrapping up over there. And hopefully I'll see you soonish. I've been gone a long time.
All right. Well, thank you ladies so much for having a chat with us.
And
I just wish you all the best for the rest of this rally.
Thank you.
And I hope that you're still laughing just as much when you cross that finish line.
I hope so
too. Thank you.
Thanks.
closure compensation.
Welcome back to the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally. We are live at Basecamp 2, Big Dune, powered by Pirelli this evening. How's it going? I think we still have some teams out there.
I'm seeing some teams sitting here in the dark. These are vehicles in the fuel line, but it's a big long day with a ton of checkpoints, and it's been a really challenging day from what we've heard. Let's look at the tracker for the vehicles that are not here yet to Basecamp 2. We're going to have a quick peek
Porsche,
there.
yes, we Cayenne. Were they? Yes, that's the 4x4 Porsche that had some damage yesterday.
Hopefully the fix from the mechanics has held together, and that's not their problem. Oh, they're not that far away. Okay. And they started pretty late today, so I think that might line up for their timeline. That's okay.
Who else we got on there?
Yeah, it's Team 151. It's hard for me to read there, to be honest. Team 151 also a little bit away. That's not even 2 miles away from us where we are here. So most competitors close by, and it totally lines up that a couple will be trickling in here still within their window to get full points here checking in at Basecamp.
Awesome. Look at that beautiful setting. Oh my goodness.
You see the smoke from Drew Deckman over there. They cook on fire in a grill each night. You put Stephanie together and the whole cooking crew that Drew Deckman brings, you walk in there and it's just like intoxicating. It's like, oh, I'm like at a fancy restaurant suddenly. I'm ready to chill.
Oh, for sure.
Unfortunately, these folks are not ready to chill. This is the mechanics stand. That's what that looks like. It looks like it wasn't a great feed, so we pulled it. But you could see there's some busy folks over in the mechanics world. Tell us a little bit about some of the tricky bits of picking, because you could get in a hurry out there. It's tricky to pick a good speed, isn't it?
It is, and it's kind of one of those things. It takes time to learn the timing of the Rebelle, and so if you get behind or feel like your time management isn't going well, then you may start going faster than you should out on these roads. And we've heard a little bit that some of the teams kind of got bit by those gotchas. So there's a few tires that need to be fixed. And the interesting thing about the mechanics, too, is those, as we said before, those teammates need to be there with the mechanics while their car is being fixed.
Right. It definitely does impact your evening. So you're saying this is what keeps you from taking your car to the mechanic every night for every little niggly thing, because you got to be there with it. So that spends your time, and it's really valuable time.
It does. And there's a lot of teams. I would come in every night just to check over everything, check my fluid levels, check my tires, make sure everything's in good working order, and then I would take it on out.
Did you develop that practice here at the Rebelle, or do you have some other off-roading experience, Rochelle?
Well, I have off-roading experience, but I actually developed that habit at the Rebelle and in Morocco, especially Morocco because I didn't speak French. So it's hard to communicate with a mechanic when you don't speak the same language.
And you're like, I'm not sure they're going to tell me if there's a problem unless it's broken. Yeah. So let me go ahead and get ahead of this.
Yeah, and there's Emmy and Rebecca again. That's good to see them that they made it. The mechanics, they're still smiling. Ooh.
They usually are. There's so many great teams with such a fantastic attitude here. What's that? Are we looking? Rivian displays their logo on the ground when you open the door. Yeah, I think Rolls does that and a few other brands, but that is a very cool looking logo there on the ground.
Very cool.
Other than just looking cool, it's useful. You see the curb, you see what you're about to step out of the vehicle onto. Totally makes sense to me. That's one of my favorite things about these newly imagined electric car world is they're coming up with all of the clever things no one's thought up yet and throwing it in, and because it makes a difference.
Yeah. All right, if you're just joining us and want to follow the excitement at the Rebelle, you can follow us at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Rebelle Rally. And if you would like to follow us live, go to rebellerally.com/live for all of that information. The live tracking is on there from the YB tracker, as well as live scoring and standings. Keep in mind if there's an on-time enduro or score discrepancies, those scores are usually 100% accurate no later than the next morning.
We're going to be going over some scores here before we are off this show. I've got some scores hot off the press in my hands. We managed to steal away about 10 seconds from Chrissy, I think, to get these. Thank you, Noelle. I think you're probably going to talk to another team here after a commercial.
I would love to talk to another team. I've got my eye on them.
All right, stand by. We're going to be back with a new team to chat with after this commercial.
At Total Chaos, we believe in pushing everything to the limits and testing everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment to perform in brutal environments and some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run every mile of the Rebelle Rally for the last 6 years. Welcome to the chaos.
If you're wondering how Scrubblade compares to competitors, take a look at my friend Kyle over here. They look normal, but his wipers only have one blade and no scrubbers, so they're weak. In fact, you can hear it. Pathetic. Now how does that compare to the dual cleaning action of Scrubblade? Oh yeah. Double the efficiency, double the clean, and double the sadness for my man Kyle over here. Oh!
All right, welcome back to the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally. My name is Rochelle Croft. We are here live at Basecamp 2 at Big Dune, Nevada, powered by Pirelli this evening. And I am here with team number 188, some good friends of mine who I have also competed with in the past. We have Laura Wanless and Maria Guitar. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So I have to ask, you are both, so this is both of your 4th year competing, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. You're looking a little dirty.
Yes.
Is there a story behind this?
Yes. Yes, there is. So we did get a flat today. Coming out at which checkpoint was it?
Coming out of 10X, 11X. Yeah.
Coming out of 10?
11X.
11X. So you went for the X route today.
Correct.
As you should have. Well done.
Yeah. Yep.
So was this flat from, how was the course? Was it really rocky or?
It was very rocky. It was fun. A lot of technical driving. The last 2 days, there's been more technical driving than I've seen on any of the Rebelles, and I've enjoyed it, but obviously ran over some debris. It was on the top of the tread that basically blew up, so Maria filled the gaps with it.
Took 4 tire plugs.
4 tire plugs?
Yep.
That is incredible. Is it still holding now?
Yeah, we used some soapy water to check if there'd be any bubbles coming out, and it's holding pressure, so we're good. But we're not going to need it, so,
there you go.
Yeah.
I love the optimism. The Rebelle optimism is what we call this, since it's only day 2.
Yes. That's right. We've got nothing but optimism.
And how many spares are you carrying with you this rally? 1.
1 plugged spare now.
Okay. All right. I like it. Well, thankfully, the good news is you're with a sea of Rebelles and mechanics who probably have thousands of tire plugs collectively.
Yes.
So is there now a different strategy for the rest of the week with how you're going to be driving, or are you just going to go for it?
I mean, we always try to drive careful. So we'll continue to try to drive careful, within our limits, but recognizing that, we have a wounded spare.
Yeah, a wounded spare. I like that. So with this being your 4th time competing at the Rebelle, I would love to ask, what keeps you coming back?
It's fun. I mean, there's no better thing than this. It's better than being in the office, and it's with all of you and my partner and everybody in the Rebelle community. I just think it's a blast.
I've been thinking, is it a Disney World where they say there's no better place on earth or something? That is honestly how I feel, because there's just nothing better than being with all of you awesome women and using your brain to plot and navigate all day long, and then the awesome driving, the awesome scenery, and then just coming back to base camp and hanging out with everybody. It's just the best place on earth.
I love that. And I love that you're saying this as you're covered in dirt.
Yeah.
And you changed flat tires. By anybody else's standards, who's not used to this type of thing, that's a bad day for some people. And you guys are like, yeah, bring it on. This is like Disney World.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we feel accomplished. It's good.
Yeah. Well, how do you both think you did today, despite that?
I think we had a pretty awesome day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an awesome day because we got every single checkpoint that we went for, and we went for all of them, and we didn't time out on any of the checkpoints, and that's with changing a flat tire. So, and we got here early, so
wow.
Win.
That's amazing. We've been talking a lot today because we've seen a lot of cars coming in. There was a little bit of carnage today, a lot of people speeding, and I think a lot of that comes from just not knowing how to manage your time effectively when you're out on course. So you guys just proved again, if you manage your time, you can actually hit all your checkpoints, change a flat tire, and get back to base camp in time to now go take a shower.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so what I would add to that is, so it's our 4th year, and each year we look at who were the winners each year, which you were one of, and just the top competitors, everybody who gets on the podium. And the thing that we talk about is rally pace. You have to have such a grueling, intense pace, and you can't waffle on things. You just have to be is this correct? Does all the data line up to tell us this is our black checkpoint, or this is our blue, not someone else's blue? And you just have to keep on rolling and just making good decisions. So keeping a good rally pace is so important.
Yeah. Well said, Maria. I don't think I could say it any better. So well done. Is there anybody you girls would love to say hi to at home?
Sure. Hi, Britton. Hi, Kira. I miss you tons. Hope you're having fun.
I would like to say hello to my husband, Jordan, and my kitty cat, Duma, and also my mom, who competed with me in 2019, and my dad, and my sister, and my niece. So I miss you guys. Bye.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies. We are excited to keep watching you. I love that you guys went for everything, and you got everything today, and I cannot see where you end up tomorrow morning.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're dorks.
I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. Welcome back, everyone. We are live today at Basecamp 2, the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally in Big Dune, Nevada, powered by Pirelli this evening. I am your host, Rochelle Croft, with Matthew Johnson.
Yeah, and we're about to close this baby up. We're going to fit in a few more bits of information. That B-roll, though, was of Johanna and Susie in the new Defender. That
gorgeous
Defender,
car.
yeah, we've heard lots of cool cars. It looks like it's a Rebelle Blue.
It does.
And she told us that the first time it hit dirt was prologue.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
setup and practice. They're old hands, though, in the dirt. Does that sound, can you say that? Maybe that didn't sound nice. They have a lot of experience off-roading already, so they knew what they were doing to start with.
They do. They are dear friends of mine. They are amazing. I actually was able to compete with them in Morocco a couple times where we really got close, and so it's always so fun. They took 2 years off, and then now they're back. Johanna's married, Susie's engaged.
Johanna has baby.
Johanna
didn't
has
compete
a baby
last year.
Yeah, so it's so fun to see them back out there, and I would love to check in with them later in the week and find out how it's going for them. But it looks like from that footage, they're still rocking it.
Is that a flat tire? We're just panning by there. I mean, you do let a lot of air out of your tires when you're going to be in the dunes, but that one looks pretty slack there on Kia number 205. Alyssa and Sabrina. Maybe they got aggressive with the air gauge while they were just doing some dancing to some songs or whatever. But Alyssa and Sabrina, I think this is typical for their competition. They start off a little bit lazy. You're not lazy, girls. Just kidding. They start off taking their time, let's say, to get points. And then they look at the level of competition. They're like, oh, geez, we need to get busy.
There's a little carnage there for you.
Little rear bumper love.
We could fix that with some duct tape, I think.
Totally. You know what? I've dislodged lots of bumpers like that. You can usually pull them a little bit wide, line up the clips, and snap them right back in place and act like it never happened.
Awesome. Well, I'm dying to look at those standings.
Yeah, I've got these standings. Okay, we don't actually know if the competitors know. If you've been watching and you just watched the interview with Laura and Maria, they're actually second right now overall with 409 points.
Who's second?
Laura and Maria. Yeah, your
that's
last interview, right?
That's right.
Team 188. They're second, 11 points behind Nina and Tara-Lynn, number
Wow.
129. That's fun stuff. So they're the usual suspects. We know they're going to do well. They've been working hard. They've been studying. I see Laura at trainings. She comes and helps out at trainings and all kinds of stuff. They are committed to doing well at this event.
Yes.
But what I'd like to point out is I'm looking at fourth place is a rookie. That's not an easy accomplishment. And in fifth place, right behind them, another rookie. And in seventh place, another rookie team. So in the top 10, 3 rookie teams. If you want to come here and compete, you don't have to have been here forever. You can do some training and show up and get it done.
I don't know if I've ever seen rookies do this well so early in the competition and hold it. Because 152 did really well yesterday, and now they did well again today as well. I'm not sure where they are at in the standings. The Sequoia.
They're seventh.
How are they doing? They're seventh.
They're seventh,
okay.
and we got an interview with them today at the International Car Forest. You guys probably will see it edited in for tomorrow's live show or midday tomorrow or something. We're going to get it to you. They were super casual about how well they did. They were just like, we're just running our event and staying focused. But so that was Sam and Becky. They are 7th overall currently in their 18 Toyota Sequoia. That's number 152. Kendra Miller there in front of them in 6th place is OG Rebelle, been here every year. But then right there in 5th, Elizabeth Williams, Allison Williams in their Toyota Tacoma, a pretty new Toyota Tacoma there, 2021. But in front of them in 4th place, Team 134, Tasha and Jessica in a 2016 Toyota Tacoma. So those of you sitting at home thinking you need something new to come out here and drive, I mean, obviously we've got our 40-30 class, but those older vehicles can be a little bit expensive. But there's loads of vehicles, maybe one sitting in your driveway that you could jump in, throw some tires on, and come and play with us.
Absolutely. I am dying to know who's in 3rd right now.
I'm sorry.
Of 4x4.
4x4, it's Sedona and Lynn, the booger pickers.
Team Wild
They're not
Grace.
booger pickers. They were just trying to goof off and distract Rochelle earlier.
And I know that they came into the rally this year really making that decision that they were going to work hard to do well and to podium. So it's been so fun to watch them.
You know, I think that cool-looking Nissan Frontier got them all fired up with that retro paint scheme and everything.
I think so. All right, how about X-Cross?
Well, enough about these other manufacturers. We love Lexus, and we're so happy you're helping us be here. I've been loving driving the GX around. It's part of our game, right? And it's honest. I love it. Okay, over in X-Cross, we've been talking a bit about Verena and Tana. They are in the other Kia Sorento PHEV, currently leading by 4 points.
Wow.
Over Melissa Fisher and Cora Jokinen.
Okay.
Melissa and Cora came from 4x4 into X-Cross. They're in a Bronco Sport, and Verena May and Tana are in a Kia Sorento. I touched on this earlier. Tana did such a good job talking about everybody was a good teammate there. Verena was doing her good job driving. Tana was navigating and helping a bit, and the car was a good third teammate. And they've got the focus on everybody making it over the finish line. Third in X-Cross in a 2014 Subaru Outback is Carrie and Laura, number 204. And they are 30 or 35 points back. So they're in X-Cross. At the moment, 2-horse race there at the front. Anything can happen. It's easy to have a rough day.
Yes, and you notice that point spread on the X-Cross by only 4 points. And this competition is won by the most, I mean, it can be won by 1 point. And this is where those black checkpoints and those X routes, it all stacks up all week to that moment to maybe put you just 1 point ahead of that competitor onto that podium. So it's really important.
Was it 1 point last year? Last year you were second place. That wasn't the year. Okay, we've had events. You're looking at here we are. We're 300 and some points. You're looking at like 700-800 points at the end of this event. There's lots of ways to win and lose points, and we had a winner over second place by a point or two a couple of years ago. So anyway, every point makes a difference. All the focus is worth it. You got to just lay it all out there and go for it.
It really does. You got to be consistent all week. So, for those of you at home wanting to follow, please tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad at Rebelle Rally for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, rebellerally.com/live, and you can follow all of the updates live show streaming, the live tracking from YB Tracker, and today's Stage 2 is very special. It is powered by Pirelli tires. The winners of this Stage 2 actually receive a free set of those tires shipped to their house, as you mentioned, which is very exciting.
Since I know the scorekeeper, you think anyone would notice if my name was in there?
I don't know. All right, so you can join us back here tomorrow morning live from Big Dune, Nevada for Stage 3 at the start line. We will be going live at 6:45 a.m. And you're not going to want to miss this one. This is the first time the teams will be getting their toes wet in that sand. That always leads to some interesting shakeups. We'll see who gets stuck, who gets buried.
It sure does.
Who makes it out.
Yeah, sand is different. My whole life has been spent trying to drive and drive more. And I arrived in the sand dunes training for part of this event, honestly, and was like, I really do not know what I'm doing here. This is the problem. And so driving in the sand is a unique situation, and it's fun to see everybody kind of working their way through it and figuring it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. We hope to see you here at 6:45. We want to thank everyone, our team, all of our sponsors, especially Pirelli, for powering this stage and for giving those winners of Stage 2 a set of tires.
And hey, thanks for putting my Instagram handle on the screen. I will post something about the Rebelle Rally. I'm kind of poor at it. I promise I'll send something up. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow. Who knows what it's going to look like?
At Total Chaos, we believe in everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run
If you're wondering how Scrubblade compares to competitors, take a look at my friend Kyle over here. They look normal, but his wipers only have one blade and no scrubbers, so they're weak. In fact, you can hear it. Pathetic. Now how does that compare to the dual cleaning action of Scrubblade? Oh yeah. Double the efficiency, double the clean, and double the sadness for my man Kyle over here. Oh!